What if your thoughts could instantly reshape your reality? This is Personal Evolution Podcast, where John and Lisa, your mindset mentors, break down manifestation, neuroscience, and next-level success using wisdom from Joe Dispenza and the law of attraction. Want more? Hit subscribe and tap the bell. Let's go. Hey there, and a massive welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Hello, everyone. Great to be diving in again.
We are kicking things off today with something that honestly has really set our minds racing. We watched this video recently.
Yeah.
And just the sheer scope of the ideas in it about how we, actively shape our lives, it was pretty electrifying.
Absolutely. It's such a compelling idea at its core. The video we're talking about is on YouTube. So I always get what I visualize in only 3 days using this belief system, Joe Dispenza Motivation. It's from the Motivation Mastery channel.
Right.
And it paints this really empowering picture, doesn't it? Intentionally creating the reality you want.
Empowering is spot on. The whole idea that we can consciously influence things just by building a strong belief and visualizing it as if it's already real. And the kicker, maybe seeing shifts in just 3 days.
Yeah, that's the bit that jumps out.
It's a bold claim. It definitely sparked our curiosity straight away. We just knew we had to unpack this one with you.
Exactly. Now, look, our goal here isn't really to, definitively prove or disprove everything in the video in this one chat.
Not at all.
Instead, what we want to do is sort of extract the main principles being presented. We're going to unpack these concepts: belief, visualization, and hopefully give you a clearer handle on this very popular approach to personal change.
Think of it as your fast track, basically, getting the essence of these big ideas.
Precisely.
Okay, so the video kicks off with this really foundational concept. Your thoughts directly impact your reality.
Right.
It suggests, every thought is a signal you send out. It even uses that analogy of placing an order at a universal restaurant. Kind of catchy.
It is, and what's fascinating right from the start is how it emphasizes we often keep reordering the same old stuff.
Yeah, habitually.
Exactly, focused on problems, fears, limits. And so, according to the video, that's what keeps showing up. The invitation is to consciously choose something different. Place a new order.
Right. And that first step for the new order, visualization. But crucially, not just a vague wish.
No, it's much more than that.
It's about creating this really rich, detailed mental movie, engaging your senses, feeling textures, hearing sounds, maybe even smelling things associated with it.
Making it so real that your brain starts to react like it's actually happening. There's some cognitive research that suggests vivid imagery can prime the brain.
Oh, interesting.
For action, maybe increase the perceived likelihood of success. You could sort of explain some of the effects Dispenza describes.
That makes sense. And the video really hammers home the consistency part, doesn't it? And the intensity.
Absolutely key. Not a one-off thing. It needs to be regular, a daily practice to strengthen that signal.
Okay, now here's where, for me, it gets really interesting, just picturing it. Apparently not enough.
No.
You have to combine that image with a powerful emotional state. Thoughts are the signal.
And emotions are the fuel, the amplifier. That's the idea presented.
Yeah, which connects to getting your body on board, right? Feeling like it's already your reality.
Exactly. Actively cultivate joy, gratitude, excitement, as if it's already done. That alignment, thinking and feeling the same thing, is presented as vital.
Yeah.
Absolutely vital.
But then, okay, this is the hurdle, isn't it? We do a great visualization, feel good for a bit. Then, bam, back to the daily grind. Old thoughts creep in. Doubt starts whispering.
Yep, the familiar pattern.
Which leads to the next big principle, living from the end.
Precisely. Basically adopting the mindset, the behaviors of the future you who's already got the goal.
So if you want abundance, feel grateful for what you do have now.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Or if it's health, treat your body like it's already vibrant and healed.
Yeah.
You're aligning your current energy, your actions, with that future you're aiming for.
The video does acknowledge that this can feel, challenging, especially if current reality looks totally different. But the core message is about choosing where you put your focus. It sort of suggests all possibilities exist, and you tune into the frequency you want, like a radio station.
And that tuning in, as the video puts it, that's where belief becomes absolutely critical, paramount.
Not just positive thinking, though.
No, it's deeper. It's presented as this unwavering knowing, a conviction that it's not just possible, but inevitable.
Wow. Inevitable.
Yeah. And that's built through repetition, persistence, constantly reinforcing it in your mind.
The video also talks about resistance, which feels very real. When you start shifting beliefs, the old patterns fight back, right? Discomfort, anxiety.
Fear, even. It frames it as your brain just trying to keep you safe in the familiar zone.
Yeah, the comfort zone.
And that's often where people might give up. The video points out they retreat.
That makes sense.
But the encouragement is to push through that discomfort, because the suggestion is on the other side of that resistance. That's where the change happens. It even mentions historical figures who faced huge obstacles but held on to their vision.
Okay, now the part that really grabs attention, this 3-day window idea. It suggests it takes about 3 days for your brain to start accepting a new pattern as real.
And during that initial period, relentless focus is key. Wake up, visualize, feel the emotions, keep returning to it all day.
And crucially, the video stresses you have to actively eliminate contradictions during those first 3 days.
Right. No complaining, no dwelling on worries, no negative self-talk. If a doubt pops up, gently but firmly, redirect back to the vision.
It's described as like rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways.
Yeah, it touches on neuroplasticity, basically the brain's ability to change. The video simplifies it, of course, but consistent mental practice can influence brain patterns over time.
It's important, though, and the video does say this, it's not about ignoring practical reality.
Absolutely not.
Got a health issue, see a doctor. Financial problems, take practical steps. This belief system is meant to work with those actions.
Exactly. To help shape a more positive outcome alongside the practical stuff.
And what if things don't magically shift in 3 days?
Well, the video acknowledges it might take longer. The initial shifts might be subtle.
Okay.
But the underlying promise is, if you really commit for those 3 days with focused intention, you'll likely start to perceive some kind of shift, like a seed starting to sprout, the beginning of the new reality taking hold.
Here's where the perspective kind of broadens out a bit, too. The video suggests the real power isn't just getting the stuff you want.
It's more than that.
It's about who you become in the process. Living from possibility with intention, belief, it changes you. More confident, creative, alive.
And that internal shift naturally has ripples. Your energy changes, you might inspire others.
Yeah.
It reframes getting what you want as, well, not just personal gain,
Right.
but as a path to becoming, as the video puts it, the highest, truest version of yourself, aligning with your potential.
It even has a quick guided visualization bit, encouraging you to really feel having the desire now, emphasizing that feeling has a sort of magnetic quality.
And it addresses that common worry about selfishness. Arguing you can't give what you don't have.
The oxygen mask analogy.
Exactly. By working on your own best life, you ultimately have more to offer: energy, resources, inspiration.
And it's definitely not passive. It's not just sit and visualize and wait. Inspired action is crucial.
That's a key point. When you're aligned, you get intuitive nudges, ideas.
Follow those.
Right. Take action on them, but not forcing it from fear or desperation. Inspired action.
Obstacles, too. They're reframed, aren't they? Not failure, but opportunities.
Opportunities for growth, for strengthening belief. Approach setbacks with curiosity, learn from them. They're part of the journey.
And the importance of just choosing to feel good now.
Yeah.
Regardless of circumstances.
Yeah, making happiness a priority. Because that prevailing emotional state is presented as the magnet.
Yeah.
Focusing on gratitude, joy. It shifts your state, makes you more receptive to good things, like being in a good mood helps you notice good things, right?
Totally. Which leads to that idea of telling a new story about your life. Empowering, focusing on how you want things to be.
Because the subconscious, the video suggests, doesn't really know the difference between vivid imagination and reality. So that consistent positive narrative reshapes inner beliefs.
And finally, letting go of the how. That's a big one.
Huge. Trusting the universe or a higher power, whatever you believe in, that it knows the pathways better than your conscious mind might.
So your job is clarity on the what? Feeling the emotions?
And staying open, receptive, surrendering that tight control, aligning with something bigger.
The ultimate message really seems to be about continuous growth, expanding consciousness, living with purpose.
Yeah, and as you do that, even your desires might evolve. Maybe less focus on just stuff, more on experiences, contribution.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together for everyone listening. We've looked at this core idea: thoughts shape reality.
And vivid visualization, using all your senses, is that crucial first step.
But just as important, combining those images with strong, positive emotions. That's the amplifier.
Then there's living from the end, acting and feeling like it's already done, aligning your energy now with the future.
And underpinning it all, that unwavering belief, nurtured through consistent practice.
And that intriguing 3-day window concept, the idea that an initial internal shift is possible quite quickly with intense focus.
We also covered overcoming doubts. Knowing change starts with belief.
The value of consistent effort, mental rehearsal, the power of gratitude.
Taking inspired action, not forced action.
Seeing obstacles as opportunities, prioritizing feeling good now.
Telling that new empowering story.
Letting go of the how and trusting the process.
And ultimately, becoming a better version of yourself, contributing positively.
Right, and running through all of that was this emphasis on the transformative potential.
Huge potential. Healing, abundance, better relationships, personal growth. All presented as real possibilities.
So this deep dive into the I always get what I visualize in only 3 days video, it really does give you a lot to chew on.
Definitely.
Leaves you, the listener, with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? What do you truly desire? And maybe more importantly, are you open to the possibility that you might have more power to consciously shape your reality than you currently think?
Perhaps it's an invitation, yeah, to maybe experiment a bit with visualization or just take a closer look at your own beliefs.
Could be some powerful food for thought.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us today. We're genuinely excited to see where your own explorations might take you after hearing this.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Until our next deep dive together.
Farewell for now, and we look forward to exploring more fascinating ideas with you next time.
So, what do you think? Can we really rewire our brains in just 3 days? Drop a comment below and let's debate. Have you tried Joe Dispenza's methods? Share your story if this hit home. Smash the like button. It helps more seekers find this content. And for next level breakthroughs, subscribe and hit the bell. We drop life-changing science every day. Until next time, keep breaking limits. Stay powerful.